Hi, welcome back to IndigoSmokes Tarot. I'm doing solar eclipse messages and guidance for the water element collective of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, which means I'm going to do all of these signs in one video. It will be time stamped. I'm going to start off with two oracle cards for the overall energy for all of the signs, and then I'll go into pulling cards for each individual water sign. Okay, so now can I get divine insight, divine guidance, divine truth, divine solar eclipse messages, and divine guidance for the water element collective of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio? It's very interesting. I'll keep it. Two cards flipped over together. We have the Tower and Breathe. Okay. So I kind of take this as the overall energy for you water signs is to breathe, like breathe through your emotions, breathe through the difficulties. Okay. There could be some things kind of like coming to the surface, or some situations that are being taken away from you, or you could be being guided away from certain things that maybe feel like disastrous or feel like upheaval. But try and pace yourself and breathe through it, even if this is just emotional disruption, emotional upheaval, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with external situations, external dynamics. The message is to breathe through the difficulties, breathe through the upheaval, and just know that you're being guided away from certain things that aren't stable or solid or good for you anymore. The Tower talks about basically it's kind of like an energy of where you maybe have stayed past, I don't want to say your due date, but basically situations that aren't solid, aren't stable, aren't for you. Something happens to basically make it all crumble so that you can start over fresh and build something new, something that's more stable and good for you. Okay, so you could be feeling some of that energy on a personal level. I do feel like 2020 has been like a tower moment for everybody, but specifically to you water signs, whether this is emotional upheaval or whether there are situations around you that are kind of like crumbling or causing you to feel uncomfortable, just remember to breathe through that. Okay, I don't think I clarified the overall energy cards for the other signs, but I want to, since they pretty much came out together. The bottom of the deck energy is message in a bottle. So once again, message in a bottle, that means to pay attention to the signs, the confirmations, the synchronicities within you, around you, the music you listen to, the shows that you watch, the conversations that you may overhear. Basically paying attention to the cues and the symbols in your environment, because there could be messages and guidance all around you, and synchronicities that are basically following you, trying to maybe let you know of what lies ahead, or let you know that everything is going to be okay, or to let you know that you're on the right path, or to let you know whatever it is that you are needing guidance and answers for, whatever you're needing reassurance about. Pay attention to your environment, the symbols, the synchronicities, the confirmations that are leading you to your next step, your next phase, and helping you to, go through your process, whatever this is for you on a personal level. Okay, I am going to clarify these. Okay, all of these cards are in the upright. All these cards are in the upright, so I'm going to take half of it and reverse it. Give me one moment. I want to redirect the lighting a little bit. Ooh, that's bright. I'll leave it. So, divine insight, divine guidance, divine clarity for the water element collective of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Queen of Swords, maybe cutting some things out, okay, and maybe needing to a balance between the mind and the heart, and if necessary, using the mind over the heart. Sometimes as water signs, the emotions can take over And the Queen of Swords is an energy of where she's not ruled by her emotions. Not that she shuts them off, but she's not making emotional based decisions, and she's not accepting things that are unacceptable, you know. So maybe this Tower moment for some of you is where something obviously unexpected or sudden happens, kind of disruption, and that Queen of Swords energy could be the after effect of this Tower moment where something crumbles, you experience some kind of upheaval, some kind of disruption, and that Queen of Swords energy comes out, and it's like, okay, look, I'm cutting this off here, I'm not going to deal with this. Okay, so divine insight, divine guidance, divine clarity for the water element collective of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Can we clarify why is the Tower card here is the overall energy for the water element collective of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? Clarify the Tower, divine insight, divine guidance, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Why is the Tower here is the overall energy? Clarify the Tower for water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. One card. Clarify the Tower. Okay, the reverse Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so once again, things not panning out maybe in a way that you wanted, in a way that you expected. Bad investments of time, bad investments of energy, resources, feeling like just things have not been successful in the way that you want, feeling like maybe there's missed opportunities, but definitely there's things that aren't stable, things that aren't prosperous, things that aren't working, things that aren't successful, being removed, things that aren't appreciating with value, I think that's the saying, are basically being removed with this Tower energy. Okay, like I said, anything that's not stable, anything that's not grounded, anything that's not growing, prosperous, successful, being moved out of the way. Okay, maybe for some of you, like I said, tapping into that Queen of Swords energy and cutting it out, or kind of being forced to cut some things out. Can we clarify the breathe? Why is breathe here for the water element collective of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? Divine guidance and insight. Solar eclipse guidance and messages for the water element collective. Why is breathe here for Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? Clarify the breathe card. Okay. Yeah. So this can refer to, because Pentacles are here, so it can refer to, you know, opportunities, things that you're working on, new ventures, things that you are trying to perfect, master, skills, courses, jobs, careers, new projects, so on and so forth. So this could be that for some of you, and experiencing a shift or an upheaval in those particular aspects of life. But for some of you, since this is clarifying the breathe card, this is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles talks about diligence. It talks about mastering something, and for some of you, this could be self-mastery. Okay, knowing how to, or learning how to, one, control your emotions, control how you process things, how you work through issues, how you move forward, and once again, being able to breathe and stay calm throughout the upheavals and the disruptions that some of you could be dealing with, not just on a collective level, but just like in your day-to-day life. Okay, the Tower energy is normally very, very significant. What is this Eight of Pentacles here for with the breathe card for water signs? Yeah, so once again, there's an energy of like instability here, or situations where you're not happy, where things are not secure, where things are not cohesive. Okay, we have the reverse Four of Wands, the reverse Strength card, Leo energy, fire energy. So this could be domestic situations, relationships, family connections, things not being stable in that regard. Maybe dealing with some dysfunctional situations, but definitely a certain level of maybe insecurity, instability, unhappiness, once again dysfunction, and in regards to your personal life on some level, in some way, shape, or form, it causes a feeling of self-doubt, a feeling of feeling weak, doubting yourself, or just feeling like you don't have the strength. You know, kind of this Tower energy could be ushering away things that weaken you, things that take from you, things that cause you to doubt yourself, especially in regards to, like I said, personal connections, domestic situations, family, lovers, so on and so forth. Working on self, figuring out how you can keep yourself balanced, keep yourself calm as you navigate through such, you know, difficulties. So why is message in a bottle here for the water element collective? Reverse King of Cups. So once again, try not to let your emotions cloud your judgment. Like I said, this is clarifying the message in a bottle, which is a six. Six has to do with harmony, it has to do with balance, but it also has to do with like domestic issues. I'm trying to get it to where you can see it. Reverse King of Cups can be somebody who is emotionally unstable or emotionally sensitive. Someone whose emotions have maybe either, some of you could be detaching from this emotion, or for some of you, emotions could be taking over a little bit too much. And so there's a need to, once again, not let your emotions cloud your judgment, to where you're not paying attention to the signs, the synchronicities, and confirmations around you. Although, like I said, there could be some emotional or domestic instability, insecurity, unhappiness, or dysfunction that could be in some way, shape, or form undermining you. There's a certain level of self-mastery that is needed here, and I do feel like this Tower energy is kind of ushering out or bringing these things to light. So bringing these things to light and also ushering out what's not working anymore. Okay, so I'm thinking, like, do I want to leave that? Yeah, so I'm gonna put these back. I just wanted to clarify those energies. Now I'm gonna pull some Oracle cards first, and then I'll get into some tarot cards. So, starting off with Cancer, divine insight, divine guidance, divine insight, divine guidance for the zodiac sign of Cancer, the Cancerian collective, divine insight, divine guidance, divine messages in regards to this upcoming solar eclipse. What is the divine guidance and solar eclipse messages for the collective of Cancer? Breaking free. Okay, that Tower energy could definitely be helping you to break free from things. I kind of feel like this is gonna be the reoccurring theme for a lot of you. Bottom of the deck is inner knowing. So water signs, there's a natural intuitive energy that water signs have. That's the most, I would say, probably the most stereotypical thing that most people say in regards to water signs, that they're emotional, they're intuitive, spiritual, so on and so forth. But for each and every one of you, obviously the situation is not going to be the exact same, but both of these are saying that your intuition, whatever this disruption is helping you to break free from what's not working, what's not successful, what's not making you happy, what's not bringing you stability, helping you to let go of and outgrow and breathe through maybe dysfunctional cycles or karmic patterns that you've been in, all of that. Okay, so Cancer, divine insight, divine guidance, solar eclipse messages for the Cancerian collective. What is the divine insight, divine guidance, and solar eclipse messages for Cancer? So I got self-esteem in the reverse. That's kind of like that reverse strength card that we pulled out for the general energy. Okay, none of these cards are reversed, but this flipped out in the reverse. So I feel inclined to leave it, but this energy needs to be put in the upright. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. That's the affirmation that's on here. Like I said, I'm going to leave it reversed. Bottom of the deck is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So back to that Tower energy for the general message. The Tower normally comes with some kind of grief because you're no longer in the mental space or the physical, spiritual space that you're used to, and it's kind of Five of Cups energy where you feel like, you know, you've lost everything, even though you haven't. Even though it feels like you're losing things, you're actually being redirected to something better. But there's obviously a mourning process, because as humans, we are creatures of habit. And even when things aren't good for us, we can have a tendency to cling to them because that's what we know, you know. So normally, like I said, with the Tower, because it's so sudden, because it's unexpected, because it's so, you know, major, a lot of the times it causes a certain level of grief, because it's like your heart, your spirit is trying to catch up with what your mind is already, you know, aware of. So it's kind of like different aspects of yourself are trying to become one or get on the same page, and in that process grief happens, you know, lower vibrational feelings happen, because it's a part of your healing process, it's a part of your recalibration process. So and for a lot of you, these heavier emotions, once again, back to that reverse strength card and this reverse self-esteem card, this energy is most likely, whatever it is, it's kept you suppressed in some way, shape, or form. It's kept you maybe not knowing your worth, not knowing your power, not knowing your strength, not knowing what you're capable of, or just undermining you and making you feel weak or weakened. Okay, but it's just a phase. Okay. So divine ancestors, guardian angels of the collective, can I get 2 tarot cards of divine guidance, divine insight, solar eclipse messages for Cancerian individuals? Divine insight, guidance for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cancerian collective, 2 cards for Cancer. Solar eclipse messages for Cancers. Okay, reverse counts. Can I get one more card of divine insight and guidance for the water element, zodiac sign, Cancer? Why is the King of Wands here in the reverse for Cancer? Alright, the reverse Two of Swords. So, for some of you, this Tower moment could have been some kind of betrayal, or just some kind of a situation where maybe you felt defeated, or you felt stabbed in the back, or something was just the last straw. So I'm going to read this King of Wands in the reverse in 2 different ways. Okay, this is more fire energy, more Leo strength energy in the reverse. So for some of you, this grief, this maybe not knowing your power, your worth, what you're capable of, or feeling like you have been undermined in some way, or feeling like something was maybe taken from you or snatched from you, or feeling betrayed, or any of those things. For some, it could have been a particular individual who had maybe controlling or selfish energy that made you feel this way, and this could be what you are grieving and getting over. All right. I do like the Ten of Swords is in the reverse. I'm going to clarify, but I normally like to see the Ten of Swords in the reverse because it means that the worst is passing. It's already happened, so it's only up from here. Okay. But for some of you, this is an energy of where this isn't a selfish or an impulsive, overbearing person, someone who's just not really considerate, not really evolved, you know, taking advantage of you or undermining you in some way, hurting you, causing you to grieve, maybe causing a Tower moment. For those where it's not that, this can definitely be an energy of, once again, where your self-esteem, your passion, your energy, your confidence, your will is kind of suppressed right now, or you don't really feel like you have access to it due to the heaviness of the emotions that you're dealing with, because once again, you are going through a healing process. So for some of you, this is just talking about the heaviness of what you've been through or are going through is once again affecting your self-esteem, your confidence, what you feel that you're capable of, how strong you feel. And then for others, this energy was caused by maybe someone who, like I said, wasn't the most evolved, or could have acted in a very selfish or reckless, inconsiderate way, so on and so forth. Alright. Alright, can we clarify the reverse Ten of Swords with the reverse King of Wands for the Cancerian collective? Reverse Four of Pentacles. So once again, you could have been dealing with a very, very selfish individual But other than that, this is definitely an energy of letting go. Okay, the reverse Four of Pentacles, when it's not talking about overly clinging, hoarding, being selfish and possessive and that kind of energy, it can definitely talk about letting go of this energy, letting go of this person, letting go of this grief, letting go of this situation or this person that has caused you to once again feel defeated, feel hurt, feel stabbed in the back, feel taken advantage of, feeling like something is just the last straw, feeling like, you know, feeling as though things can't get worse. Getting over that feeling, letting go of that feeling, breaking free from that feeling. Okay, so we have that. Can we clarify breaking free for the Cancer collective? Clarify breaking free for Cancers. Yeah. Reverse Justice, reverse Three of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. So once again, there is fresh energy here. There is a new beginning here. There is something that will give you that energy, that confidence, that passion for life, that inspiration, that get up and go energy that you need. That is here. But I do see that maybe something, you're breaking free from something that maybe was not balanced or fair in regards to something that you had to deal with. Once again, the reverse Ten of Swords can be something that you feel is unfair, feeling defeated because maybe someone, you know, stabbed you in the back or things along those lines. So it could definitely be some kind of injustice happen here, or you feel like something was done in an unjust manner. Okay, there could have been some dishonesty here as well. Like I said, that reverse King of Wands, it can be a player, it could just be somebody who's selfish, who's controlling, who's overbearing, reckless, so on and so forth. So definitely some of you Cancer could be dealing with the fire energy. Maybe you're dealing with the Libra, or just someone who doesn't, you know, act in a way that makes you feel good. Okay. And once again, I do see with the reverse Three of Wands, it talks about expansion and growth. When it's in the upright, when it goes into the reverse, it talks about frustration, it talks about obstacles, it talks about not getting what you're expecting or waiting to receive, you know. And once again, just feeling like something wasn't fair, something didn't go how you wanted to go, something hurt you, something disrupted your happiness, something undermined your confidence, your power, your passion, your inspiration, your energy. And although I do feel that coming back, like I said, there is a healing process and a need to build yourself back up. Okay, the reverse justice, it can also talk about like someone not taking accountability. That could definitely be this reverse King of Wands energy over here. For some of you, maybe you are the person who's not taking accountability, Cancer. You will know that, and that could be an energy that you need to break away from, because once again, with that reverse King of Cups that we had, clarifying the overall energy message in a bottle, that lack of accountability could be once again due to your emotions clouding your judgment and making you not see things clearly. But I don't feel like that's most of you. I feel like that's only some of you, and you'll know if that applies. So, breaking free from that because you want something new, you want something better, you want something that feels good, you want a new start, a fresh start. You're getting a fresh start. That's what the Tower delivers, something new, right? With that, can we clarify self-esteem? Why is self-esteem in the reverse for the Cancerian collective? The Six of Cups. Something in regards to the past. Okay, this is Scorpio energy, but this talks about nostalgia, memories, the past, sometimes an idealization of the past, all right, and kind of a clinging to it, wanting to revisit it, feeling nostalgic over it. But whatever the self-esteem, why the self-esteem is in the reverse, it could be, like I said, due to maybe some childhood issues, or there's a situation or a person that you have a lot of history with, and you could feel like it's hard to let go of, but there is something here that took its toll on your sense of self, or your sense of strength, or energy, or passion, or inspiration for, you know, life, you know. Definitely something that you are very strongly or were strongly tied to undermined you in some way. Can we clarify inner knowing? Why is inner knowing here for the Cancerian collective? King of Pentacles. Clarify grief for the Cancerian collective and the solar eclipse, divine guidance. Clarify grief for Cancer. Okay. Alright, we have the Queen of Pentacles clarifying the inner knowing, basically High Priestess, intuitive energy. The Queen of Pentacles, it talks about taking care of yourself, stabilizing yourself. Okay, so once again, not being overruled by your emotions, taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and just grounding yourself and becoming very solid in your intuition and following it and using that to nourish yourself in every way that you need to be nourished. This could also be a stable or a solid figure, maybe a maternal figure or a nurturing figure that, you know, could be giving you some guidance as well. But for a lot of you, this is a need for grounding and following your intuition and giving yourself what it is that you need. And once again, breathe, pacing yourself. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very grounded, and she knows how to get her ducks in a row. She knows how to take care of herself. And even if she doesn't, she's willing to learn. She's willing to put forth that energy towards herself, because it all starts with you, and it starts with self-care. And listening to your intuition is a part of self-care, because it's you acknowledging a deeper aspect of yourself. It's a form of self-respect. Okay. Clarifying grief, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so once again, whatever this energy is that has caused you, you've spent some time. You've spent time, maybe money, energy, resources in whatever this is that you're breaking free from, whatever this is that you have strong ties to, past connections with. You spend a lot of time in this, okay? And once again, this grief is a process. You know, you can't rush it. The Seven of Pentacles is slow and steady progress and patience and planning and waiting. All right, so once again, this Queen of Pentacles, she can be very patient. She can be very grounded. She can be very solid. She can be very focused. And her emotions are not overruling and clouding her judgment. She knows how to take her time and plant the seeds and nourish them, especially in regards to herself, her projects, whatever her focus is. So this grieving, like I said, I do feel like whatever is causing this grief is something that you invested a lot of time, energy, money, resources into. And while your healing or your grieving process may feel very, very slow, just remember that healing isn't linear. It is very cyclical, and it's a spiral. Sometimes you're going to revisit certain thoughts, certain feelings, certain scenarios, and you're going to feel it all over again. It comes in waves, but it's still progress. Okay. Right under that, we have health. So once again, with that Queen of Pentacles, paying attention to your health, self-care, maybe taking some time out to just breathe, to meditate, just to help you to deal with the emotional upheaval, the emotional process of getting things back in order and moving into the next phase of your life and moving into healing. Okay. So overall, what I'm getting from this is there's something here that's being cleared away that you're breaking free from. I do feel like there's been a lot of time invested for you, Cancer, and I do feel like whatever the situation is, it has undermined you in some way, shape, or form, whether that is your confidence, whether that is your passion, your inspiration, your focus. There's a need to rebuild yourself back up and heal. Okay? And to focus on this new energy as much as possible. Alright, that is it for you, Cancer. I'm going to move on to the next sign. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. So, now I'm doing Scorpio. Scorpio, this is your reading. Just let me get these cards back in order. Alright, divine insight, divine guidance, divine truth, divine messages for the Scorpio collective. Those with dominant Scorpio in their energy. I think the healing card wanted to come out. Divine insight, divine solar eclipse messages and guidance for the Scorpio collective. So it is a shade. Archangel Michael, divine ancestors, guiding yourself collective. Can I get divine messages, solar eclipse messages for the Scorpio collective? Decisions. Bottom of the deck is hope. Alright, so once again, that Queen of Swords energy that kind of came out in the pre-shuffle. Once again, the Queen of Swords is very no-nonsense. She's willing to cut out whatever it is to, according to her judgment. And it's not an emotional judgment. It's a very rational, very logical, very much a common sense type of thing. Where emotions maybe are taken into account, but they don't control the decision that she makes. And that could be the energy that you are going to be in, or that you are in, Scorpio, in regards to this decision energy. Have peace here, divine guidance, insight, clarity, solar eclipse messages for Scorpio. 1, 2, 3. this doesn't feel right. We have envy here, but I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to my cards falling out. So one more card for Scorpio, since I forgot to look at the bottom of the deck the first time. Alright, patience, trust. Alright, we'll go with that. Bottom of the deck is service. Alright. I'm going to clarify some of these. Clarifying the cards for Scorpio. Why is the decisions... Oh, wait. No. Can I get 2 tarot cards? Can I get 2 tarot cards for divine insight and guidance for the Scorpio collective? Here we have the reverse 4 pentacles. Maybe choosing to let go of something. Cancer kind of got the same card, the same energy. Can I get one more card of divine insight, guidance, solar eclipse messages for Scorpio? Why is the reverse 4 pentacles here? Okay. So we have the reverse 4 pentacles, the reverse judgment, and the upright 3 of cups. So reverse 4, reverse judgment, 3 of cups. So once again, these decisions could have to do with your personal connections, and just deciding what's going to bring you peace. I do feel like, Scorpio, you could be trying to find your peace or trying to protect your peace, and maybe having to let go of some situations or connections that maybe undermine your ability to have hope and peace in your life. The reverse judgment, it can talk about just doubting yourself. It can talk about self-doubt. It can talk about being unable or deciding not to make certain decisions or necessary decisions in order for you to be able to move forward. It can also talk about a poor judgment call on something that maybe you've been dealing with. But it can also talk about that avoidance of making a decision due to self-doubt or just due to not wanting to, not feeling comfortable. So kind of delaying a decision that needs to be made, or maybe repeating certain cycles and not integrating the lessons that you've learned. So for a lot of you, this is the energy of releasing certain connections, releasing certain situations and connections that maybe weren't a good idea, or that were maybe a bad investment of your time. And maybe needing to get over self-doubt for some of you in regards to said decisions or connections or situations that need to be let go of. Okay, sometimes this reverse 4 of pentacles can talk about clinging on to things a little bit too much. So there could definitely be an energy here of that, clinging on to a situation, a connection, a friendship, even though you know that it may not be the best idea. And that could be what this decision is about. It's like maybe you know you need to, but you don't know how to actually follow through and make that decision. For others of you, this is just letting go of things that weren't really a good idea, or kind of karmic connections, karmic situations. Things have run their course, and now it's kind of like you have to, put your foot down and make certain executive decisions. And I did see like 33:22 when I said that. And this is judgment is 20. And then we have the 3 of cups here. So 33 also. So we have these 3. Why is the judgment card in the reverse for Scorpio? That's also Pluto energy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, once again, this can be like more like possessive, obsessive energy, where you're not wanting to let go of certain attachments, certain situations, toxic dynamics, or shadowy people or situations. That's where that poor judgment and or that lack of making a decision comes into play. So for those of you, Scorpio, where maybe you're being too attached or too overly controlling or obsessive or clinging to certain connections or situations against your better judgment, or because you're trying to avoid cutting those off, I do feel like maybe that's the tower moment that's coming to a head, where it's like now you have to. For others of you, you already know that something here is maybe not good for you in regards to a situation or a personal connection, and you know that you've been clinging on to it against your better judgment, and you have a decision to make, but you're just kind of doubting yourself in regards to actually following through with in making that decision. Okay, for some of you, this poor judgment is that you probably, once again, you already knew what this person's situation was, and maybe you did it anyway, and maybe that was a karmic cycle for you. And now it's kind of like maybe things are coming to a head, and you have to deal with it and decide, are you going to keep going through the karmic cycle, or are you going to cut it off? But I do think a lot of you already know what this controlling or addictive or attachment energy is. And I do feel like it's a personal connection. Three of Cups, it talks about friends, social groups, gatherings. So any kind of personal connections. It could be love, but I'm seeing it as more of a friendship circle thing, or just those in your inner circle. I've had the Three of Cups for Scorpio. Four of Cups. Ooh. Four of Cups. This is Moon and Cancer energy. So this is emotional stagnation, frustration, discontent, boredom. So once again, 4-4, maybe a situation has grown stagnant here, and maybe you've overstayed in a particular situation or energy for too long, and you're not even content with it anymore. And that could be partially of why it's a bad idea. That could also be why there's this energy of clinging. Maybe you're just clinging to your comfort zone. You know, Scorpio, you are a fixed sign, and sometimes you don't really want change unless you want it, unless you want it on your terms. But I do feel like you will most likely be the one to put an end to whatever this attachment is, whatever this karmic situation is, whatever this is that is unhealthy for you in your environment, especially in regards to like personal connections that you have just grown bored and discontent with. I do feel like that's what this decision is talking about. Yeah, and on her shirt it says over it. So definitely I do feel like there's something here that you're over, or you're being guided to kind of like release and get over. But there is a decision that needs to be made here in regards to that. Can we clarify decision for Scorpio? Why is decision here for Scorpio? So, 5 of Cups, 9 of Cups, grief over something that maybe once made you very happy or satisfied, and having to make a decision in regards to what is going to make you happy once again with that peace energy that we have here in the hope. So the decision may be hurtful for you to make, or maybe this decision has already happened. But after this 5 of Cups energy, you have the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment and satisfaction and emotional balance, and just a better feel and perspective on life, on yourself, on what you're dealing with. It's emotional contentment. Okay, but the decision has to be made first in order to get over that 4 of Cups, reverse judgment, devil energy. Can we clarify peace for Scorpio? Why is the peace card here for Scorpio? Divine guidance, solar eclipse messages for Scorpio. Clarify peace. Releasing negative energy. We have 8 of Wands. So, clarifying peace, we have the 8 of Wands, which talks about swift movement, forward movement. And also this talks about communication. So maybe once again communicating about this decision, being able to move forward, or things picking up for you as you move away from whatever the situation is. And also this can be the energy of peace swiftly coming in for you after you deal with whatever this karmic situation seems to be, and whatever this situation is focused on. Clarify hope. Why is hope here for Scorpio? 5 of Swords. Maybe feeling a certain level of defeat. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Swords. So once again, for example, if this is like a personal connection, friendship, family maybe, you could definitely feel like maybe somebody here did something hurtful. You could feel like somebody here was maybe out for themselves or very inconsiderate, or maybe this is just the energy of harsh words being exchanged, and the feeling of defeat, or just feeling like the situation wasn't worth it because you don't really feel good, and most likely the other person doesn't feel good either, because the 5 of Swords talks about empty victories. So once again, restoring that, or getting back in touch with that energy of hope, and not feeling so defeated in regards to what has transpired, or in regards to the decision that you need to make in regards to a situation or a personal connection. Okay, but I do feel like for some of you, you have someone toxic in your circle, and you've grown very discontent, but also kind of stagnant within the situation. And it could be one of those things where you're just comfortable with the devil that you know, and that could be why it's hard to make the decision, or why you feel so drained, why you feel so defeated or frustrated or hurt, because there's a strong attachment energy here that could be bringing you down. Like I said, the decision might hurt to make, but I do feel like things pick up and get better soon after. Okay, why is trust here for Scorpio? Trusting yourself, for one. Why is trust here for Scorpio? Right, the reversed hangman. So this talks about feeling uncomfortable, feeling trapped, but it can also talk about a certain level of resistance. Do not resist your intuition and what it's telling you. Trust your judgment and what you intuitively know is good for you. And also, once again, getting out of a stagnant kind of energy, which is why maybe that tower is here to shake things up a little bit so that you can no longer avoid or just tune out whatever the situation is for you, but definitely getting yourself out of an uncomfortable, unhappy energy, situation, connection. The trust card, the affirmation is, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. But you don't resist that. Don't resist that intuitive pull that you feel to make a certain decision for yourself, especially when it comes to your peace and your happiness. Reverse Six of Wands wanted to come out. So leaving behind situations where you just don't feel like you're winning, you don't feel recognized, it's just not working. And we have the High Priestess here, literally. So Moon energy, Pisces energy, also more intuitive energy, listening to your intuition. Why is patience here for Scorpio? Being patient with yourself, being patient with your process. Clarify patience for Scorpio. Eight of Pentacles, working on your patience. Working on yourself, working on your patience, working on your healing. Cancer also had some energy of having to work on themselves in their healing process. But being patient with yourself and mastering yourself. Okay, getting over this hurdle. Alright, this decision, I do feel like maybe it's going to require some strength or some focus for you. Like I said, I do feel like maybe there's been some stagnation and kind of sitting or festering in the situation, or maybe turning a blind eye. But ultimately, your intuition has been there all along, and it's kind of to a point where, for some of you, maybe you lost touch with that, and now you're working to get back to that point. But overall, I do see that patience is a part of what you're needing to master within yourself. Okay. Alright, what was the bottom of the deck over here? Is service. I feel good when I can help others. I'm not going to clarify that, but basically, Scorpio, you have a decision to make in regards to something that is very heavy and unfulfilling on your energy. Most likely a personal connection, someone in your inner circle. You know who it is already, because the High Priestess is here, the Trust card is here. The decision may hurt for you to make, but ultimately I do feel like things get better after. But it's kind of like that tower energy is kind of the storm that has to come to shake things up, but also to prep the ground for the new harvest that comes in. So trust your intuition, make the necessary decision for your happiness, for your peace, so that you can move forward. Do not be afraid to communicate that. Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Scorpio. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to move on to Pisces now. Pisces. Divine insight, divine guidance, divine clarity, solar eclipse messages for the Pisces collective. Divine guidance, divine message, solar eclipse guidance for Pisces. Mystery. Bottom of the deck is free spirit. I feel like almost all of the mutable signs have gotten the free spirit card. So like Gemini, Sagittarius, now you Pisces. I haven't done earth signs yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Virgo card comes, if free spirit comes out for Virgo too. I also seen 444 when I was talking, so That could be a number for you, Pisces, but ultimately when I see the free spirit card, to me that talks about there's a certain level of freedom that you need in order to stay true to yourself and in order to feel like you can breathe easier. But of course you have to define what that is for you and also not let that get out of hand. Okay? I'm going to clarify what mystery is. I don't get this card often. This is a new deck, so I'll clarify that. Divine insight, divine guidance, solar eclipse messages for Pisces. Failure. Bottom of the deck is regret. So most likely this, if you're feeling like you failed at something, Pisces, if you're feeling regret, Pisces, that could be the energy that's kind of inhibiting your free spirit, you know. Pisces, the fish, it comes and goes and goes with the flow, and emotions. The domain for Pisces is the ocean, and although all water signs have the tendency to be emotional for whatever reason, because one, just due to what I've researched astrologically, I also have Pisces in my chart, so I understand it in a particular way. I feel like Pisces, I feel like Pisces is more sensitive. One, because it's the fish, it doesn't have a form of protection. Its element or its emotional range, for you, your emotional range, Pisces, is much like the ocean. And a lot of times I feel like you can actually get lost in the waves. And so your emotions basically you can drown in your own emotions. And that could be the regret, the failure, that could be the energy that's kind of like inhibiting your free spirit. Okay? I'm going to get a few cards for you, Pisces, tarot cards. But I do feel like there are some adjustments that need to be made in order to accommodate the emotional, spiritual, and maybe even physical freedom that you need in order to feel at ease and peaceful. Mutable signs do not like to be pinned down, and I do feel like these emotions are pinning you down, and maybe you're kind of drowning in this energy of failure or regret, Pisces, and that's something that you're needing to figure out a way to work through because it's restricting you, and stagnant waters are not good waters. So neither are tumultuous waters when the tumultuous waves never end. So divine insight, divine guidance, solar eclipse messages for the collective of Pisces. Can I get 2 cards of divine insight and solar eclipse messages for Pisces? I have the 8 of Wands. One more card for Pisces. Okay, the Devil card. Bottom of the deck is the World Cup. So this is kind of similar to Scorpio. Whatever this regret or failure is, once again, it could have to do with someone in your personal domain, in your inner circle, a friendship, personal connection of any kind. So the 8 of Wands and the Devil. 8 of Wands, it does talk about communication, talks about forward movement, talks about things happening very, very fast. I do feel like for a lot of you, Pisces, this is like the energy of maybe receiving some downloads, like spiritual downloads, intuitive downloads, but also maybe needing to communicate in regards to a certain unhealthy energy, situation, connection that you may be dealing with right now. Can we clarify the 8 of Wands and the Devil for Pisces? Why is it here? Alright, we have the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the reverse Page of Cups, and the reverse 10 of Swords. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of Pentacles again, so once again talking about maybe multiple parties involved. Situations that require you to be on the same page, on the same frequency, same vibration as other people, otherwise it doesn't work. Reverse Page of Cups, it talks about disappointment, it talks about hurt, it can talk about frenemies, and it can talk about emotional insecurity or immaturity. It can also talk about not listening to your intuition. So once again, this is clarifying the 8 of Wands and the Devil. I feel like, especially with these 2 tens here, something is ending or has ended, and it has left you feeling a particular way. Once again, I don't, did Cancer get this card? But the reverse Ten of Swords, once again, that talks about getting over, for most of you, getting over that hurdle, that thing that hurt you, that thing that you feel broke you, that defeated feeling that you felt, that maybe, you know, someone you were dealing with was maybe a fake friend, maybe somebody wasn't sincere, maybe somebody hurt you, maybe you avoided listening to your intuition in regards to a particular connection or situation, and that left you feeling like you got the short end of the stick. Okay, and being at the end of the situation, being at your breaking point, getting over that energy, or being in the process of getting over that regret, getting over that failure, getting over that feeling of defeat and hurt. 2 tens talks about completions, new beginnings. The 2 of Wands talks about choices, decisions, plans. So this is going to have to be a decision, like a conscientious decision to get away from this 10 of Wands reverse, 10 of Swords energy. Like I said, the 10 of Wands, tens already talk about completion, but the 10 of Wands specifically talks about that last stretch right before you get to where you're trying to go. So you're almost there, Pisces, and whatever this is, you're almost over that hurdle, or you're working through that right now. But your decision, you have to, what kind of word am I looking for? It has to be like a conscious decision to move forward, or to move away from this energy, to move away from this person, to move away from this situation. That decision is yours. And it is possible that whatever the situation is, of course, with the failure, the regret, it's emphasized with the 10 of Wands and reverse 10 of Swords. Whatever this is, it feels heavy. You've maybe put a lot of energy into this, a lot of time, and you're like right at the last stretch before you are done with this entire cycle, and you can start over new. But the conscious choice has to be there. What is this 2 of Wands about for Pisces? What for the 2 of Wands for Pisces? And for some of you, Pisces, you could feel like you've just overextended in a particular situation. For others of you, it could be the opposite. Maybe you feel like you didn't do enough. But what I'm seeing here is that whatever the situation or this connection is, it's weighed very, very heavy on you. And I don't feel like you feel like, I don't feel as though you feel, Pisces, that you got what you wanted out of the situation. I feel like you got more disappointment than anything. And I feel like there's a lot of maybe old wounds or self-doubts that you have to work through to get away from this sense of failure or regret that you have. A lot of times, sometimes that 10 of Swords in reverse, it can be, a lot of times I see it as getting over, but sometimes it could be it could be the energy of replaying certain things over and over in your mind, to where you're kind of causing yourself to hurt all over again. So kind of being in a mental cycle of going through the same pains, reliving the same bad memories, staying in that lower vibrational state of being sad, regretful, you know, just it's like a loop, and having to make the decision to get out of that loop. That 8 of Swords, I mean not the 8 of Swords, but since I accidentally said that, the 8 of Swords energy is when you feel victimized, you feel trapped, you feel helpless, you feel restricted or self-limited by your own thoughts or by a situation that you're in, and it's undermining to you, and most of it is in your head. You have to get out of that. And that's where that 8 of Wands energy, which I originally meant to say, getting out of that very swiftly, very quickly, it's a very decisive energy. And it takes physical action, because the Wands have to do with energy and actual action. I was about to clarify. The 2 of Wands. Why is the 2 of Wands here for Pisces? Yeah, the Star. Choosing to start over, choosing to heal, choosing to keep your spirits up. Also, being cosmically aligned. Okay, allowing the healing to come in. Allowing your guides, your ancestors, to protect you and heal you as you go through this period. But definitely the calm after the storm, the rebuilding, the healing, the inspiration, the wish fulfillment. But you have to choose this, Pisces. Why is the 10 of Wands here for Pisces? Reverse Nine of Swords, the reverse Two of Swords, and the reverse Ace of Pentacles. So once again, things that aren't successful. I think the Ace of Pentacles in reverse came out for the pre-shuffle. So once again, missed opportunities, things that didn't get off the ground, things that didn't really last maybe as long as intended, things that, you know, didn't bring you a lot of security, didn't bring you a lot of prosperity, things that once again just were not successful. Reverse Two of Swords, that is an energy to me of feeling like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay, especially with this reverse Nine of Swords. While normally I see the reverse Ten of Swords and the reverse Nine of Swords as overcoming that mental grief and anxiety and worry and stress, with both of these being here with failure and regret, I feel like there's an energy of replaying certain things, certain traumas, certain bad memories, certain bad experiences over and over in your head, re-inflicting that pain on yourself. Maybe once again due to feeling like something was a missed opportunity, maybe feel like you didn't do enough, maybe feel like you weren't enough, or anything along those lines. I feel like there's a mental repetition to your own detriment that is here, and having to make the choice to get out of that and accept healing and accept inspiration and accept that maybe a tower has fallen for a reason, and it's to bring something else in. I believe this is clarifying the Ten of Wands, so this energy weighing very heavy on you. Once again, that reverse Nine of Swords, it can talk about scandal and gossip. So once again, it could have been a personal connection that made you feel like, once again, you didn't get what you deserved out of a situation, but also not only replaying certain things over and over in your mind, but having to heal the certain trauma or the patterns that have you reliving this sense of failure or regret. Okay, so just basically having to get yourself out of emotional and mental entrapment that you're inflicting on yourself, possibly due to an external situation or personal connection. If this devil energy isn't just talking about the negative attachment or the toxic energy being you against yourself. So you take that how it resonates, but I do feel like what's been weighing very heavy on you, a lot of it is either you replaying something in regards to the past, replaying the negative, or for some of you, this is just all in your head. Sometimes that devil card can talk about mental health disorders and just the energy of like obsession, to where you don't really know how to tame a certain aspect of yourself, the shadow aspect, and it takes over, and then you feel like you can't control it even though you can. So why is the Page of Cups in the reverse for Pisces? Reverse Eight of Pentacles. I know this was in the upright when it was in my hand because I got this for another deck. For another sign. But since it came out all wonky in the reversed position, this could be a lack of effort in regards to you know, the emotional insecurity that maybe comes with this sense of failure and regret. But there's a need to master this. You want that Page of Cups to be in the upright. You don't want to stay in emotional insecurity. You want to stay in emotional immaturity. You don't want to stay in a sad energy to the point where it takes away your desire to put in the effort to make it better. Once again, that Two of Wands with that star, you have to decide to heal. You have to decide to let the new come in. It's a conscious decision. Deciding to be better, deciding not to, you know, mentally obsess, emotionally obsess over your past failures or what you regret or what didn't work out or what wasn't successful, or, you know, what a personal connection or the effect that personal connection had on you. Can we clarify mystery? Why is mystery here? Why is mystery here for Pisces? So there definitely could have been, other than your self-esteem or your self-worth being impacted in a particular way, especially with the reverse Page of Cups and the Swords energy of you replaying certain things over and over again to where it negatively impacts you. Definitely with this mystery, it could be referring to some form of secrecy or deception or illusions that you've experienced, either the self-imposed ones, hence the devil energy, or maybe the ones external to you in regards to personal connections. Okay, the mystery could be intentional. Someone could be intentionally, or could have intentionally been deceptive, a trickster, dishonest, manipulative, so on and so forth. For others of you, this could be self-delusion, self-illusions that need to be worked through. Why is failure here for Pisces? Queen of Swords is the first card that flipped over for failure. So once again, I knew this card was going to come out for somebody. I feel like out of all of the water signs, Pisces has the worst, has it worse with boundaries. Once again, because it's mutable, there is no protective shell. Cancer and Scorpio both have shells to protect them. And Scorpio has a stinger. Whereas fish is normally prey. It's normally vulnerable. And the boundaries are a lot, more challenging. And I do feel like this Queen of Swords energy is here for you Pisces, for you to, one, cut out this energy of feeling like you're a failure and realizing that mistakes are still lessons. But also needing to implement your boundaries in some way, shape, or form, whether this is with the person, a situation, or whether this is with yourself and needing to control your thoughts and control your emotions. Why is the Queen of Swords here for Pisces? Alright, so we have the Queen of Wands, the Reverse Empress, the Reverse Chariot, and the Queen of Cups. To clarify the Queen of Swords, that's hilarious. But what is good is that, Pisces, you have all of the energies, like, within you. So that's a lot of what I'm getting from this. For others of you where this is personal connections, maybe you were dealing with the feminine energy that made you feel this way. For others, this could just be maybe too many people were involved, and maybe, once again, the Reverse Nine of Swords, it can talk about scandal, it can talk about gossip, so maybe there was a lot of that going on. If this isn't just talking about maybe your friend circle and there being a toxic connection or an unhealthy dynamic in your friend circle. Other than that, you have all these energies within yourself, Pisces, and you're definitely needing to step into your Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands energy of confidence, of implementing your boundaries, of taking action on that, of not taking any shit. And also learning to value yourself and nurture yourself with the Empress in the reverse. It talks about, it can talk about low self-worth. It can talk about not taking care of yourself, doubting yourself, not using your feminine energy, not using your creative energy, not grounding yourself. And henceforth, due to that not being successful with the Reverse Chariot, maybe it's messed up. Something here has messed up your ability to have direction. Whether that's internal or external, that's something that needs to be worked on. And in order to do that, you do need the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords energy. But we do have the Queen of Cups energy here, which is you, obviously, very intuitive. So you do need to take a creative or an intuitive approach while still implementing your boundaries and being confident in nourishing yourself, so that you can get this Chariot energy in the upright and get your focus in order and give yourself some direction, some guidance, some structure. So for some of you, that Queen of Swords is telling you gotta cut some people out, some things out. For others of you, this is habits within yourself, patterns within yourself that you have to cut out and be more strict with yourself about. Why is Free Spirit here? It's easier to be a free spirit when you don't have to constantly look over your shoulder. Why is Free Spirit here for Pisces? Why is Regret here for Pisces? Okay. Bottom of the deck is Queen of Wands again. So once again, taking action, being more confident, and being more sure of yourself. Clarifying Free Spirit, we have the Six of Cups. There's a certain innocence that you should hold on to, Pisces, not letting your sense of self or your dreams be shattered by either yourself, your own thoughts, which you're inflicting on yourself, or the connections that you have around you. I do feel like for those of you where this was a connection, there's a lot of history there. There's a strong connection there. For some of you, these are childhood connections. For others of you, these are strong soulmate ties. But Other than that, the Six of Cups talks about a certain level of childlike energy, of innocence, of simpler times, and kind of needing to basically get back in touch with your inner child, especially with that reverse Page of Cups that can talk about a disheartened child, a sad inner child, and just needing to nurture that part of yourself and get it back in balance and give it what it needs. With that Empress energy being in the reverse, sometimes I can talk about a negligent mother energy or an overbearing mother energy. So I do feel like there's a need to mother or nurture yourself, Pisces, and there's a need for a certain level of, you know, free-spirited innocence, like that of a child, that you do need to maintain, but you need this Queen of Swords energy to protect that innocence and to protect that free-spirited energy. So a nice balance is needed. Clarifying regret, we have the reverse Four of Wands with the reversed Hangman. So once again, personal connections, maybe relatives, maybe domestic situations, or just situations that are no longer happy, that are no longer stable, that are no longer functioning properly, and feeling very much uncomfortable in this energy, Pisces. Don't let yourself get stagnant in this regret, in this dysfunction, in this instability, in this unhappiness. Okay? Don't let it keep you away from your calling either, whatever that may be for you. Regret is a natural feeling, but don't let it stick around for too long. Like I said, because Pisces, you can have the tendency to get lost in the waves and to let it weigh you down and to not have boundaries with it. That Jupiter energy is your co-ruler, and for better or worse, Jupiter expands and makes things more bigger than life and more dramatic and overwhelming. And so try not to succumb to that for too long, but definitely don't stay stagnant in unhappy, insecure, unstable, dysfunctional situations, connections, relationships with family members, personal connections as far as friends. And also, once again, with that reverse Nine of Swords, reverse Ten of Swords, not replaying it over and over again, re-inflicting that same pain on yourself, knowing that you cannot change the past. Okay, there are two cards here referring the past, the regret card and the Six of Cups. Strong past energy. So whatever this is, maybe it stems back to childhood, maybe it stems back to someone who has been in your life, or a situation that's been in your life for a very, very long time, and that's where those boundaries are needing to come into play, or it's within that situation or connection has been around for so long that has disheartened you and it has you feeling like a failure, feeling regretful. But once again, don't fester and marinate in that energy. Why is the Six of Cups here with free spirit for Pisces? King of Pentacles. More stability. Okay, so for some of you, this could be an energy of either you have someone in your life or you will have someone in your life that will be that grounding, stabilizing force that can help you to implement your boundaries and to ground yourself and to mature and to be free, be innocent, but still, you know, smart, and what other word am I looking for? To be able to be free and innocent, but also be smart and self-protective. That's what I was looking for. For others of you, this is an energy that is in your life or coming into your life. For some of you, this past energy, it could refer to an earthy kind of energy, where this is a father figure, where this is a husband, just an earth sign. This situation could be revolving around this energy, but I kind of get a good vibe from this King of Pentacles. So either you're stepping into this energy, Pisces, or you have someone in your life or coming into your life that is going to help you and that you'll probably feel a nice connection with. You know, sometimes, Pisces, you may need someone who's more like a Virgo to keep you grounded, but to also, you know, nourish you. That is your counterpart, that Virgo energy. So for those of you that aren't stepping into this energy yourself, you could have, you know, a connection, a friend, whatever, around you or coming towards you that you'll have a nice connection with, and you'll be able to recapture some of that innocence or that childlike energy that maybe you're missing or needing in your life. Someone who's grounded and stable enough to still and able to not only nourish you, but to also let you still be you, who you are at your core. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords. So once again, stay away from self-sabotage, but also if you know that there are, you know, certain dishonest people around you, and that's where this toxic or this unhealthy energy or attachment energy is coming from, someone who is maybe too mysterious, you know, hold back from them. And also with the Queen of Swords, cut them out, because this energy, people who are in this energy don't easily stray from it for too long. So my goodness, Pisces, actually all water signs, you guys have, I think you've been maybe the most interesting yet, just in regards to like the emotional shit that you're dealing with. But your thing here is boundaries, Pisces. Boundaries with yourself, boundaries with others, protecting your inner child, mothering your inner child, working on your self-worth, building yourself up, deciding to leave certain things and people behind, and also stepping into more grounded energy yourself, but also maybe attracting a person or persons that stabilize you and ground you because they're so stable, but also if their energy freeing you up to still be the mutable, free-flowing fish that you are. So I hope that this resonated. I hope that this was very, very helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm seeing 111 as I'm closing this. So once again, I hope that this was helpful. I hope this was insightful for you, Pisces, all water signs. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you sooner rather than later in my next video.